I'll stop there before I will leave that point where it sits. And by doing this, I'm referring to the judgment in the High Court yesterday. I went to court to seek redress about the elections that will be taking place this afternoon. I went to seek remedy that I be given time to get fairness in the procedures that will be applied in those elections this afternoon. Because I had complained about the activities that led up to those elections. If you will recall, I complained that I believed, I had every reason to believe that the elections would not be free and fair because of the things that happened and that led to my complaining about the things that happened during those elections. I complained that the bodies charged with the conducting of the elections, like the Central Committee, as one main example, played both referee and player. So ha ke ya go court ke ne ke ile go ra court ke re a go le ntliseng ka gore go gaetso ba refa ba tshotse phala mme ba eta ba tshameka forward ntse le bona, because I thought that's where you go to seek remedy. Ke ne ke ile go kopa gore a dithopo di ka se di busetswe ha moragonyana so that fairness can be brought into these elections. Karabo e ke bone ke nthanyere there is no emergency, and this was yesterday when the elections are happening today. That for me is a new definition of emergency. Yesterday and today is as urgent as you can ever get. But they said, no, you don't notice an emergency. My emergency is this. The last selection of delegates was on the 26th of March. I couldn't have brought that application any earlier than that date. Or ne ke emetse gore di delegate di topiwe ba te ban sponsor ke gone ke te ke maina go tomkra gore ke te ke nne le mo go te local standby go kgona gore ke ngongorege go kgona gore ke te ke demande the voters roll. Before then I couldn't even complain. So the earliest I could complain was after I filed, which is the 30th or so. So that also doesn't give me time to complain. So, manunzu nzehela. No next time na he. Nekene to the process here. Kutswa ho, ha o motswana. Gongwe ha o motswana. Gongwe ha o ka wina. Why didn't they ask me to bring proof if they were concerned? No, they didn't. They ruled on a fact that could have been proven. Those two things combined leave me no other option but to conclude. After my president called me Motswana wa Pampiri, no other option but to conclude that Hanya Semorahi Moharo is not a joke. Haba to Banziba to Elizabeth Sabatona Basikian. Harikat Hamekaraza Hore, what Hamiku. Ghana, it is said in jest. Put our heads, and if this thing manifests itself in the courts, we are headed for a situation where people are going to be denied justice just because they have some shade that looks like it crossed the border. And this country will be doomed. Because I had a case that ought to have been listened to, but it failed because one of my parents crossed a border. I do not even know where in Malawi he came from. Now you can figure that out. You can think about your own parents. You can worry about this for your own grandchildren. Who could suffer this in so many years to come when you are dead and gone and your trace comes up and they seek similar positions and they suffer the same consequences? Because you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, you have a responsibility. I know that in this country, we think that media is all about entertainment. Today, I want you to think twice. You have a responsibility to educate. You have a responsibility to inform. And this time, you had better inform seriously. Because this is not a joke. It's about your lives. It's about this country. And if you're going to take this as a joke and take it for entertainment, those are your lives you're joking with, not mine. I've lived mine. At 68, if someone comes up to me and says Somonyasa, I'll laugh it up. Because I know how to handle failure brought on by people who misunderstand life. That ends my press conference. And therefore, now wait, I will not be running. I will not run because I will not promote a sham. That election this afternoon is riddled. That election this afternoon has been rigged from day one. I will not be part of it because it will only promote and give legitimacy to something that I do not believe. I will hold my head high and live for the ideals of true democracy that I believe in and fight another day. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Maji. This one.
Yeah.
Can you ask a question?
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Maji. Can I buy the quotes? We will do that by show of hands. And your media house. You can go ahead.
From my friend. So I know we're moving forward. What should we do now? For you frown upon the judgment. Secondly, would you consider another political home? Affection New Jerusalem and join hands with the opposition parties. And the other thing, just for the record, we hear every Mabani we offered something as part of the deal for a little who is a negotiator at the highest office. Can you confirm to us if that's true? And if the deal in a whenever delay?
Thank you, sir. Sir.
In the light of the complaints that you had about the possibility of the conduct.
Who are you, sir?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm writing for Associated Press. I also write for Zona Times online newspaper. Given the concerns that my PA had raised about the conduct of a free fair election, can she state for the record what her concerns were about these elections possibly being rigged or being a sham? To just at least articulate it for the record so that we can record the issues that you had, concerns that you had with this election process.
Okay, let her answer
Let me
this
deal
one.
with these because the first has got quite a few. Let me just start with yours. The things that I call rigging in these elections, starting with the regional congresses that are purported to have endorsed His Excellency the President. Some of those endorsements did not exactly follow the Constitution. That is an assertion I will make boldly. And if I were challenged to explain and prove, we can go into that. In some of the lead up to the congresses, ward congresses are supposed to be held to select candidates. In some wards, delegates were handpicked by people to attend. Where the agenda was supposed to have been known and the purpose for the Congress known ahead of time, the Congresses met and nobody knew what was going to happen until they were in the meeting. In some of these Congresses, the Central Committee literally took over. And the Central Committee has got no business running regional congresses. Just to give you an example. The one and final thing that broke the neck or the camel's neck, what is supposed to be a candidate list or the voters' roll, the semblance of the voters' roll, people were selected as delegates to the Congress. What we see now in that voters' roll, names have been removed and replaced by people who were not selected at the Congresses. I have made these known to His Excellency. That's what I mean by riddled. And your question, sorry. Yeah, and also Central Committee. The chairman of the party is supposed to be an arbitration body or representing arbitration. He has no business campaigning for one candidate or not the other. Well, he claims that Nakeneke campaigner Moyo is an ordinary member of the Central Committee. He's got no veto power in the Central Committee. A chairman, on the other hand, of a body is a fairly senior person who holds a veto power. Being a chairman and being given veto power is not a joke. We had better learn in this country that certain positions do carry certain powers. So a chairman can't go around willy-nilly campaigning and then pretending that it doesn't carry power either. And then there were all those crazy endorsements by members of the Council of Elders. Those are the parents of the party to whom we must run if we are in trouble. Them on day one of the campaign taking sides immediately just said, Venson, this is a door you can't open. Should you need help? What was I supposed to think? Even before we start. The door on day one. And then you have the party anthem. It's like it's a party anthem in an endorsement song for one candidate. What if that candidate loses with that song? Those are the examples. Now, am I going to court? No, it's a waste of time. Why should I take a trivial little thing to court? I've got other things to do with my life than go and fight over. Because the answers, the ruling at the court, doesn't answer the things I took to court. How do I'm late? I didn't go to court for that. I went to court for the elections to be postponed, for the voters' rolls to be sorted out, so I can come to the elections. I didn't get those answers. So, so no, I'm not going to appeal. And my answer is, it's a bloody waste of my time and my money. I said that everything I have tried to do in Kang, Balopi made sure that I paid twice in Kang. Am I going to go to another party? I'll teach you something about me. I finish what I do, like I'm closing this chapter. I will think about what I do next after this. Ha ke tshwane lona bananyana ka gore lona motho a ngwanyana a motena, you string them along for a week while you are looking for another one. I don't work like that. I don't. You do that. You do that. You string along your life and you string along something. I know I don't work like that. Yeah. I close this. I have a break. I breathe, and then I plan and I move on with a very clear mind. And I pray. I consult the man up there. So he and I have got a lot of work to do in the next 2 days, and he had better answer me fast. He had better answer me very quickly, because I haven't got time, and I'm an impatient old woman who wants answers, so like yesterday. So I'll be praying, and there's always an answer. He will give me one, and you'll find out pretty soon what I'm going to do. Faction Jerusalem. I have heard of Jerusalem. I don't know who they are, but I heard Baneban support. I like them because they support me. And I've said it before, anyone who supports me is my friend. Okay? Was I offered something yesterday? We had a meeting with Audona Maban. I'm not going to tell you any details, but I'll say this to you. I had hoped that we would settle this thing out of court. That was my wish. Because now I'm like that. I take the peaceful solution first before, you know, the harangi and things, yeah? So I had hoped we would do the closed door thing. Unfortunately, that route did not work. That's all I can tell you. What we discussed, you know what I probably asked for behind the closed doors. The same thing I asked for in court. What they asked for, no, I can't tell you. They can tell you. But it's obvious we didn't agree. Okay? That's all I can say. Behind closed doors. Thank you.
You do a telephone charge for me. As we formally withdrawn from the building service, we understand that
No, I will send somebody out there to tell them at 2 o'clock to put my name down if they put it up.
Maybe area on had a meeting.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not. Let me speak in proper, simple English. No, I'm not willing to share my discussion with Ramadan. Yes, I did stand out there and chat with him for a while, but I'm not prepared to share. Yeah, precisely. And I wish he does.
We would like you to clarify something regarding the yesterday's meeting. We understand you were the proposer of the meeting through your lawyers. Clarify that is the information that is coming from Suletsa House between you and the president who proposed the meeting. Then the other question here, the logistics for yourself, your campaign, and your delegates. I would like to understand for how much you have spent in terms of preparing for this and eventually coming here and not participating in the elections.
another one. I think we're gonna allow with follow to
Just for clarity on my question.
Okay, let him.
nna ke bidio a cheater ko the voice ne ka tla go itse gore ka gore go ha o tla mavi go ne go na le bangwe ba bana ba ntse ba go support ba tshwana le tautona wa pele Kgama le Guma yaanong ne ke batla go itse gore bone so far ba ko kae and what advice did they give you after the court session?
Nekiri, just for clarity from my question, in her heart of hearts, does she see herself continuing as a life member of BDP? Just for clarity.
In my heart of hearts. You don't want to know that, I tell you. that is all unprintable. Our lawyers, okay, they spoke and they agreed. Or they think it's a good idea that the parties meet. We think that you should meet. And I agreed because I felt that it would be in the interest of the BDP that my president and I should be dragging each other through the courts. Okay? Ka gore nna ke go gakala le domkra ke sa rate gore ke be ke tsene into this kind of situation. I have been with the BDP for a period well over 20 years, so my protection of the BDP comes like by instinct. And besides, I thought, if it will save the situation and if this is a feeling that both lawyers feel will work, why not? Peace first. So I agreed to go along. And as I'm saying, I'm sorry that the suggestion did not work. It didn't yield the results that were intended. Why it didn't work, you can speculate it to Cairo and back. You can be the fly on the wall. Logistics, it cost us a lot. I won't tell you how much. You can speculate on it. A lot of moolah. Because, as we've said, we rented another farm just down the road, closer to the town, paid for it. Then, the Central Committee, only responsible for this area, came and locked it and changed locks on us. There's a hotel called Nakabu. We paid for it full. No. Next thing I know, the money pops back into my account 3 weeks after I paid. At the travel Ultra Lodge, I had paid for 8 rooms. They cut them down to 3. Give us your bank details because you cannot have all 8. But how is it a 5? BDP does not pay for delegates. BDP has never paid for my room. Not in its collective life. Doesn't pay for my room. Why? Just when you are telling a lie. Okay. I take back the word. I apologize. it cost us a lot. Kama ukomushu. I did discuss this with him yesterday after the court case. So he had an idea of my intentions. That's why he's not here. Kumako Johanni, as you all know. My heart of hearts, what am I going to do next? I'm a very resourceful person within myself, so I'm sure I'll find something. I don't know which way it's going to be. Political, build, consultancies. I will be doing something. So, as you guys say, watch this space.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just one. Elections around the corner. Are you gonna support the BDP?
You're pushing me. I'm not going to answer. I mean, what kind of question?
Okay, my view will be available here. Whoever wants to ask more questions, she'll be hanging around.
No, there are too many. No. Let me overrule my chairman.